Oh, YouTube. Basically, I thought what I'd do is a video for my mate Scott over at Wessex Blades. Basically, I don't want Scott to look at this video now because I'm going to send him a gift, and I want him to probably watch this after he's opened it, and I want him to open it live on YouTube because, you know, yeah, he's a lovely guy, you know, so I think, you know, it's nice to surprise people, and the entertainment value on YouTube, you know, where everyone, you know, enjoys it as the experience as well. So okay then, a gift for Scott. So basically it's the 17th of April 2012 today, and basically Scott, look away now if you don't want to know the scores. Alright, bye bye Scott, go on, bye bye. Right, now he's gone and he's not around, I'll let you into something. Basically a while back I thought I'd start this bushcraft wild camping idea, and I thought I'm going to need some knives, so I thought basically I'll have 3 knives, a small, medium and large, and as I'm starting out, so, and I'll expand on that as I'll go through probably, you know, like most people do. So the first knife I thought, well, I've had, anyway, I don't have to buy it, which is this one, my Gerber, just a 3-inch. I've had this 11 years now, and you know, I've sharpened it and sharpened it. I use it nearly every day, opening boxes and all sorts of things. But everywhere I go on holiday, I'll take it with me. And I asked Scott to sharpen that, which he did, and it's done a good job, as he always does. So that's that. Secondly was the K-bar. So I love that. It's just a beautiful. I love that knife so much. And my God, man, yeah, check this out. It's just like a razor. If you want something from Wessex Blades, it's brilliant. It will just cut and file the paper off. It just cut all day long. So, you know, with that in mind, a nice sharpening job. I'll just pop that back in there because, as Jedi says, rightly so, knife safety. Don't blaze all over the place. And thirdly, the knife you sharpened was my favourite. That's my go lot. Martindale number 2, British Army issue, blah blah, you know the score by now. Basically, when this first come, you probably recall on Stewart's video that he'd done when he unboxed it all and then you had a look through. And when they're brand new, when you buy them, there's no edge in there really, it's just crap. I mean, it's just rubbish. And Scott, I think, what it's termed as, I mean, you have to bear with me before I go any further. I know bug all about knives. All I know about knives is what I've watched on YouTube within the last 2 months. So, a virgin really. But what I believe, which put on here, is called a convex edge, which basically the edge just comes rounded to a point rather than straight down. And I think that's what the Japanese use in their katanas, ninja swords, what you want to call it, samurai swords. And the idea, I think, is to just to force the material out easier as it slices through. So he's put that on here, and I thought, wow, brilliant. And you know, after using it was after we sharpened it, you notice the difference between like a crappy blunt edge, which they supply, and what you can do if you've got a bit of skill like our mate Scott has. And he's put a lovely edge on there, as I said. So okay, brilliant. I thought that's fine. Actually, practice what you preach. Put that away. So, you know, we agreed on a price, and it was a lot cheaper than I thought, to be honest. So you paid the guy, and I'm thinking, you know, my limitless knowledge on knives, you know, I don't know nothing really, especially in comparison to Scott. So I thought, well, that's going to take him, what, them 3 blades, probably half an hour to an hour and a half max to do all of them. So I thought, you know, the price that we discussed was better than reasonable. So okay, fine. You know, and it wasn't until a few days later, I think, you know, when I got him back, and we talked quite a bit, Scott and I, over on YouTube on the personal messages and comments and that. And I was absolutely shocked, you know, to be honest. It took him the best part of a day to do them. And that made me feel quite bad really, and it still does. Because, you know, I've got a feeling Scott's not the wealthiest bloke in the world. and he's a genuine guy, and he's no charity case or nothing like that. He is a down to earth, 100% genuine guy. I'd never even met him. I spoke to him very briefly when I was up on a wood somewhere. The signal was really crap and he was breaking up. But I'm dying to meet you, mate. We're going to have to go out and have some laughs pretty soon. None of the weather's going to be a bit better anyway. But anyway, all that aside, I thought, no. It's just not on. It felt really bad because, you know, the money that he wanted for doing a whole day's work. And I basically said, like, you know, I'll give you some more money because I feel bad about it. And he goes, no. And I can't remember his exact words, but it was along the lines of, it's a hobby of mine, it's a passion. If I can make someone happy and get them enthusiastic about it all, then he's happy with that. Which, you know, that blew me away really, to be honest. I mean, that just tells you the depth of his character. Now, he's a nice guy, as I said, and your Limmy keeps saying that he's a nice guy. But you know what, I don't give a shit, it's my channel and I'll say what I like. If I want to say he's a nice guy 20 times, I'll say it. So live with it. So yeah, he's a nice guy. Right, so basically, for what I do is I've got to give him something back. You know, the money they wanted just was nowhere near enough for a day's work, and the quality of the job he's done as well, very important. So I thought, okay, what does he like? Blades. Okay, fine. So then I'm thinking, this could be a problem. What the bloody hell do I get him? Because he's done umpteen videos, loads, and I've watched nearly all of them. It's taken me a long time because I just love his videos. Anyone could watch them. Even my mum and dad come round and we was watching some on the big screen when he's taught little Jazz out on the old overnight kiddies one. You know, we all love his videos. A lot of people like his videos. So I thought, right, I've got to find out what knives he likes. How am I going to do that? So, you know, after watching his videos, I thought, okay, I'll get an idea for what sort of knife he actually likes. So I've been taking some notes down from what he's been mentioning briefly throughout his various videos. So I thought, okay, he likes stuff that's quite thick, still. Okay, so I thought, I've got to get him a knife that's thick. Check. Got to have a straight edge because of the sharpening. You know, if you're going to be sharpening stuff, I mean, I haven't been sharpening that long, and already you've got a long straight edge like this. It's a lot easier to do this because if you've got like more of this sort of thing, it's very, very hard. You know, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a long time to sharpen probably as well. So you know, it's a nice long straight edge in there. So okay, fine, I'll get him a knife with a nice straight edge on it. So I'm thinking, I know his rule about 30 quid, I think it was, and there's probably quite a few knives that he likes just outside of that bracket. And I mean, if I had more money and more time, you know, I'll probably get him something, you know, nice, you know, probably in about the 80 quid mark if I had the money. But the way things are going at the moment, and the wife's been out of work for years and just my income, anyway, you don't want to wear that violin bullshit, I'm sure. So I thought, okay then, you know, I'll wait till payday and I'll get something. But I also noted he likes good quality steel because, you know, he's very knowledgeable, his ass got. So the stuff I got him was 1075. You know, it's probably alright to sharpen everything. I'm not too sure about how long the edge will hold. I'm not experienced enough to make that decision, but I'm sure she'll, you know, I'll make Scott probably know that. And not too small as well, so I got him something that's 8 inches long. I mean, he's got enough great big things, he's got a few little nice ones. But I thought, okay, I'll get him something that he's going to like to batten with, you know, something that's a bit tough. So I thought, okay, and this really done wedding because, you know, I don't know how fate and things happen and things, but I was that close, and I mean that close, from getting him the Hudson Bay knife because of the finish on there. And a lot of the knives that Scott's makes, you know, it's got that sort of finished look on it. I thought, oh, I'll get him that, he'll love that. And I thought, no, I'll mull over it and see what happens. And a good job I did, because when I checked online this morning, bloody hell, someone's beating me to it. What's his name? Ham-Biu, I think his name is, Ham-Bro or something. But he stepped in and he got it instead. I thought, bloody hell, that was lucky, imagine that. So I thought, okay, so, and also, I mean, he probably won't want me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because I didn't know what knife to get him, when I was at my wit's end, I've got to get him something, and time's running out, you know. So I sent him a PM and he sent me back a video showing me his knife collection. Now I understand that what he showed me, I guess, was probably about 70% of what he's got. Maybe less, maybe more, I don't really know. He knows. So I thought, right, looking at that, and I played it about 4 times. I was just double checking because the knife I had in mind, I just wanted to see if it was on the video, and it wasn't. So I thought, wow, this could be fun. So I thought, right, that's it. Heaney Haynes, I think they're called. I went there and got it. One of these. Now, this is a nice knife, I think. Something that he's going to like. So I'll just show you what I got him. It comes with a little catalogue and everything. And basically what spurred me on to look at this company who manufactured these knives, Condor, was Jedi Knight of the Woods, Paul I think his name is. He gave Scott his bush law recently to sharpen up. And just noticing Scott's reactions as he was looking at the tool and using it. I thought, oh, he likes the Condor things, and it's reasonably priced as well. It's just over his price bracket, and you know it's affordable for me at the time to get it for him because, as I said, I believe I owe him, which is what his video is all about really. So I thought, okay, I'll get him a Condor, and I wrote it down somewhere. I think it's a Condor Varan, and basically there it is. The sheath, as you can see, is beautifully made. You know, a lot of people do comment on the sheaths, and for the price you pay, you do get good quality. I mean, the stitching is very, very nicely done along there. I mean, years ago when I was younger, I used to buy really nice quality clothes, expensive, and you can tell straight away by the stitching of how well it's made. Exactly the same can be said for these sheaths. And here's a knife anyway. Very, very nice. But you know, I thought, okay, he's going to like this. It's nice and thick, which I believe is what Scott likes. It's got a straight edge for easy sharpening. And it's strong as well. It's a full tang, goes right to the end with a nice eyelet for your paracord to go into. And it's going to be ideal for the old battening through stuff because it's got a nice big thick pucker straight edge on that, really nice. And I thought, okay, great, I'll get him that. I thought, I'll see how good it is when it comes out. Nah, rubbish, look at that. And I'm really trying here to make it cut. Not too bad, but you know, the edges, it should be really going through that. So I thought, okay, so what I'll have to do is at least put an edge on it for him, or attempt to. And basically my knowledge on putting edges on stuff is only from what I've seen on Scott's videos and a few others as well, using sandpaper and whatnot. I think Dennis done a few good ones on sandpaper. And the leather strop I think it was, but I thought, okay, I've got a whetstone as recommended by Scott, and I've been using it recently to practice with my kitchen knives, and it's a bad idea really because the kitchen knives I got are very, very expensive, and we're talking like £200 a knife, the global knives. But luckily for me I bought a big set, I think it's 11 of them, and it cost me not that much money really, so I don't mind, you know, using them to practice on that. And my god, I'm surprised how easy it is. So I'm going to attempt to put an edge on that and see how we got on with that, so we'll see how that goes.